Hello and welcome to the CX Files for June 27th, 2024. My name is Mark Hillary and I'm in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
And I'm Peter Ryan in Montreal. And Mark, I think we have just recently gone through the summer solstice. I can't believe that the year is literally halfway done.
Yeah, absolutely. Just seems like the other day that we were celebrating the new year and already we're just about hitting July.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a sign of age progressing when things seem to fly by a little too quickly. But at the end of the day, it's great to be with you. It's great to be chatting with you about a very exciting guest, somebody who I've been looking forward to hearing their discussion that you conducted. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time. So why don't we get right into the crux of it? Who are we going to be listening to this week?
We have Alexandra da Silva Rodrigues, who is Global Head of Contact Centers at Generator and Freehand Hotels. So it's a big international group of hotels. She's based in Barcelona. I actually talked to her, I think it was the second day that she was at her new office. Because the first day she was having trouble with, I tried calling the day before and she couldn't get the internet to work and we had all sorts of technical problems. And it was basically because she just joined the company. She was in Lisbon until very recently. So she's just moved to this new role. And we talked about hotels, hotel CX, and some of the issues around multilingual problems that you have. Clearly when you're running CX for a hotel group, you can get customers trying to use any language to get help. And clearly the default is normally English, but quite often this is just not good enough, or the customers have a greater expectation of support today. So really we kind of drilled down and focused on that kind of problem of supporting hotel customers and trying to match the language that they want to use.
I think that this is a very, very big dynamic as a challenge going on in CX when it comes to the hotel industry. And I can tell you something else, Mark, that is certainly popping up as a concern is the inability of consumers to be able to actually reach a hotel. More and more, you're being forced onto 800 numbers, toll-free numbers that take you to a central system or a central call center. The agents, unfortunately, are unequipped to deal with issues related to a particular hotel. And I can speak from my own experience. That's incredibly frustrating. Back even a few years ago, you'd be able to pick up the telephone, source a telephone number for an individual hotel. Now it's becoming increasingly challenging to actually be able to accomplish that. So when it comes right down to it, hotel CX is very much in the crosshairs of what the consumers are thinking about, with more people traveling than ever before, and demand for travel having gone up over the course of the past couple of years since the health restrictions came down. So, it's great to find out from exactly what Alexandra has to think about, not just from the standpoint of the multilingual angle, but really where the dynamic is going when it comes to hotel customer experience management from a much broader perspective.
Yeah, because with hotels, you need to plan for different types of interaction. Obviously you have the in-hotel, the guest experience, the guest experience at the lobby, reception, experience with the staff. But then you also have the guest that's calling for information or searching online for information. So there's many different kinds of channel and different types of experience that the hotel customers can have. So we kind of covered all of this and looked at some of the differences between those types of channel as well.
Yeah, no, and it's really great that you're doing this. I think that when I consider some of my own personal experience, whether it's as a consumer wanting to stay in a hotel or whether it's planning an event, the fact of the matter is you can't get people to answer the telephone. When they do, they don't have the right information. You send emails, they go into a black hole. This is an industry that I think is falling down very badly when it comes to customer experience management. And it's because of people like Alexandra who are coming in and shaking things up that it's going to get better. So really looking forward to hearing this interview.
Okay, Alexandra, I think the first thing that would be really useful is if you could introduce yourself and then maybe give us an idea of some of your experience managing customer experience CX strategy.
Yeah. So I started working with customers and contact centers by 1997. Looks like old ways. And I always use, when I'm speaking about contact center, the Human League's music video didn't kill the radio. So yes, so I started managing contact center by 1997 with Citibank. So I started on finance and on bank, and then finalized right now on hospitality industry. So I have more than 20 years on the contact center industry. I manage small contact centers, like 20 agents, and I manage 2,000 agents, and I manage in-house mixed models and 100% outsourcing models. So I have been in outsourcing companies, and I have been in custom and client companies. So I think I have a great understanding what is contact centers, and I think I understand what the customers want and expect when they dial a phone number, on when they write a web form, or when they chat, and when then write an email.
Okay, that's excellent.
Company.
And that's a good mix of different types of company and different industry as well. I mean, how central do you think then is CX, or the importance of helping customers quickly in the travel and hospitality industry? Do you think it's different compared to finance, for example?
No, honestly, it's a no. The answer is a no, because whatever is the industry, the guest or the client wants a quick answer, wants an accurate answer. And whenever they want to connect with the customer service or the contact center, they want to get accurate and a quick answer. And that's it. So it doesn't matter wherever we are within the sector. So what the difference is, when do we manage the service? So when I'm managing the contact center at the hotel industry or the hospitality industry, I'm saying we are managing the glamorous industry, because people are contacting us because they want to go on business, on travel or on holidays, but to go enjoy an hotel, which is a different story. If we need to get the contact center to call to a phone number to offer a credit card or to offer a telecom service. So this is a service, but from a customer perspective, there is no difference. What they expect is to be served in a quality manner, and to be serviced in a right way.
Yeah, that's an interesting distinction as well. I think maybe another one would be the global nature of travel and hospitality. Clearly, a bank will generally be handling local customers, usually in a single country. But if you're a hotel and managing customer service, then you can be handling customers from all over the world. And so how do you prepare for customers that might reach out to you and use ask any question, but using any language?
Yeah. So my strategy, and this is Alexandra's strategy, wherever I am, in each company I am working with, I think the cultural affinity is one of the most important pillars, So I know the offshore and look for locations like Manila, India, and for example, serving English outside of US and UK, where we can find more cost efficiency locations. Looks like initially like it's a great idea, but what brings us to the companies like in Manila, just an example, to serve UK guests or UK clients. They are so far away and they miss this cultural affinity. So the way when I'm working with companies is the way I think we should serve our guests is we need to look for where is the cultural affinity. So whenever I look for contact center agents that they understand when they are helping guests or they are trying to support guests is to understand what they are looking for, is understand if they are asking questions not only about the products and services that we are selling or that we are supporting, is imagining a question that, oh, by the way, today there is a lot of snow, there's a snowstorm. They need to understand there is a snowstorm in a certain region in a country in Europe. So in Manila, it's kind of difficult to understand what's going on. So I understand that Manila is the right place to support APAC. I understand that for EMEA, we need to find the right place to support EMEA. I understand to support Americas, we need to find the right place to support Americas. So whenever I work with a company, I try to find a contact center that is close to our guests or our clients. So I'm not a fan of offshore. I'm more fan of nearshore.
Okay.
Let's say like that.
Yeah.
Cultural affinity, because at the long term, the cultural affinity will bring more benefits and return on benefits than to find a place far away from where our guests are.
Yeah. And I would imagine that for major languages, you can serve the customer in their preferred language. So German, French, Portuguese, Spanish, but there must be many minority languages where you just have to serve the customer in English. Is that correct?
Yeah. In my particular case, I don't do that. So, for example, Nordics. It's not easy to find Nordics outside of Europe, right? So I need to find them in Europe. So I need to find them and add my agents in Europe. So yeah. So again, it's my cultural affinity. This is my word and this is my strategy. English is correct. I can find a little bit far away from the origin. But again, I have a lot of training time, and the learning curve is too long that probably I need to find closer places to my guests than to find in Asia, for example. So the way I set up my current contact centers is for APAC, I look for APAC locations. For EMEA, I look for EMEA locations. And for America, I look for America locations. So I found near shore than offshore locations.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. And is there a plan or a formula that determines how many languages you can support? I mean, I suppose, is there like a call volume, and when you go below that, it's just not economic to support that language?
No. So in my particular case, and in the majority of my cases, English is always a must, a part of the rest of the languages. So English is always a universal languages I can find all over the world. So, for example, Nordics, Dutch, we can support in English, so we can follow the sun strategy, let's say like that. But there is another languages that I cannot support in English. Let's say Portuguese, Spanish, English, German. I really need to have those local languages. I cannot have a backup language as in English, even though I can offer that. The experience tell me that only 10% of the local will select English as an option B.
Right. Okay. And have you found, in your experience, any kind of technology solution that can help you with this? To interact with customers in almost any language, and does this type of solution, does it work for voice calls, or is it just messaging?
Okay, so I know there are technologies in the market. In the past, I used for the contact center, so in Manila, so this is a clear example. When we didn't have the local support in the European language, we offered them to continue in English, or we offer them to have a translation support. But it was really a translation. So honestly, I didn't like that service. I know nowadays there is with AI and these new technologies, but I didn't use. So I don't know. I can't give you more input on that. I didn't use. I know there are. In some conferences, I have used some pilots, but our pilots, I never used that, so I don't know. So
Okay.
it looks like that AI will help us with that, but I cannot tell you if it is really 100% accurate or not.
Okay. Well, and I was going to ask then, but maybe it's not relevant. But I was going to ask if you've used any of these types of solutions,
No.
and right. Okay. So, can you imagine, thinking back to the sort of hotel example? Could you imagine some sort of technology solution working inside a hotel, or is
Yeah.
this kind of technology just for contact centers?
I don't know. We can imagine, and we are doing already some pilots on that with automation and with technology supporting us with non-add value processes. I believe there is technology that can support us on that. We are doing some pilots on that, also at contact center and at front office at the hotels for some processes. And it is working quite well. Again, video didn't kill the radio. I still believe that humans are really needed for add value processes like sales and upselling. And when it is revenue powerhouse, agents are really needed.
Okay, that's excellent. And just a final point then, do you think that we are, with technology like AI, I mean, do you think that we are at a kind of tipping point for multilingual support? Will we look back and think it was strange that sometimes we could only use English?
Can you repeat your question, Mark? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. I was just thinking about the use of multilingual technology, and do you think that we are at a sort of tipping point now, that we are going to see these technologies become much more common and make it much more easy to support customers in any language?
Yeah, I believe yes. So I do believe, so if I remember, like I would say 10 years ago already, thinking about IBRs. Um, Instead of dialing one, dialing two, and asking people with open questions on different queries on different languages, natural languages, was kind of, what is that? Only in English and very few languages. I really believe technology will bring really add value to the companies, to help us to be efficient, to bring efficiencies on, again, non-add value processes. And I believe, within the languages we will find, and I see this right now with the different companies and different vendors, and I see a great evolution, on the natural language and understanding the different accents, let's say like that. For example, in my case, I'm Portuguese.
Mhm.
And I speak different languages, but of course, when I speak, for example, Spanish or English, I still have my Portuguese accent, right? But
Mm.
there are machines that can understand what I'm saying. So I really believe this is evolving in the right direction to help the companies to be rid of these processes that are really administrative, like 1 + 1 = 2. But when do you come to emotional intelligence? And this is a conversation I had today with my contact center. When do you need to sell? When do you need to connect emotionally with your guests? When do you need to upselling or cross-selling? When you need to appeal and understand what are the guest needs on the hospitality industry? When do you come to an hotel? Why do you come? Who is coming with you? Probably the machine is still far away to understand this. So to offer the best option to the guest, probably the machine is far away, independent of the language. It's not the
Yeah.
language, it's the emotion.
What if there's still a human involved, but the human is supported by the machine?
Yeah.
So you still
So
have a human that can
yes.
do the
So
sales.
I believe the for sales, I honestly believe humans are still valuable, for very administrative and very 1 + 1 = 2 machine can help us. But again, this is Alexandra. I know there are other people that think are very probably advanced than me. I want to go step by step, and I want to go slowly but strong.
Thanks for listening to the CX Files podcast. We really appreciate your feedback and suggestions. You can reach myself, Mark Hillary, or Peter Ryan via LinkedIn. Please also leave a rating or review on your favourite podcast provider, as that helps more people to find us. As always, we'd like to thank Chris Haig at Traction Media for the CX Files graphics. See you next week. Okay.
That was great.